Okay, so big welcome to Dr. Sofia Costa. Here we are. My name is Gary Foslu. This is Functional Medicine Fast Track for Practitioners. And again, we want to welcome Dr. Sofia Costa. She's been with us before. Welcome, Sofia.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Yes, so pleased to have you back and catch up with where you're at and just hear the massive goals that you're achieving. But we'd love to maybe just help those that maybe haven't heard from you before and seen your interview previously, and maybe give them a quick little summary of where you were at before Functional Medicine Fast Track, and just paint a little picture for them.
Okay, sure. So where I was at before I entered Garrick's FMFT program, I was already a PT for about 6.5 years at the time. And I became a sole practitioner June 2016, so about 3.5 years after working in a clinic. And so that time working in a clinic, I was observing what I didn't like, right? The whole setup of seeing 15 to 17 patients a day. You're seeing them for 30 minutes and then they get transferred off to an aide and you don't even get access or say so really of the movements, the continuum of care afterwards. And really wanting to add more value for the patient at the time. So for over 3 years, moving around to 3 different clinical settings, from an outpatient sports ortho to an out-of-network outpatient facility where I was able to work with patients one-on-one for a full hour, I still wasn't happy with the lack of quality and the continuum of care, how we're so restricted and limited based off of insurance requirements or the management or anything like that. So, I'm a free spirit, to be honest with you. And I took the risk of going solo June 2016 with the hope of just like, okay, I know what I have to offer is valuable. Whoever is attracted to that, I will attract that. And during that journey of owning my own business, I realized that my business is a byproduct of who I am. So at the same time, while growing my practice, I too was tapping into my own personal development and making sure that I was clearing any type of internal blocks and limiting beliefs, so that I can become the magnet to attract the ideal client, attract the ideal business setting, environment, and all that good stuff, so that I can hold space for a client to be seen, heard, loved, and accepted from the inside out, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So I did cross paths with a functional medicine practitioner, and that's when the seed was planted that I was like, wow, hey, you can really dig deeper into someone's care and provide the tools that you can be the resource rather than, needing to depend on other people to refer to. And I was noticing myself not having the confidence at the time. Yes, I was able to provide tools, but I felt deep inside that I can provide more value. How can I do that? And so I've been following you for a couple of years, and since with our mutual friend, Xander Fryer, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do, but I knew that I needed the confidence first. Not the confidence first, but like just, the confidence to just take the courage to my step forward, like courage to move forward with what I want to do, because I became crystal clear with what are my goals, and then FMFT is in alignment with all my goals and how I want to show up for the client. I mean, it ticked off all the boxes. So with that being said, it's a no-brainer for me to enroll. And this was last January, 2019, of when I finally just said yes. And the phone call with you was even like, you just set me up to just feel so good that yes, like I can do this. And then it's a trust fall. You go for it, like it's in sync with what you want to do, go for it, So yeah, that was the journey. Yeah.
It's a great recap for those. So what do you feel is the biggest difference from before to right now that you're living? So before you started with the evolution of bringing on an online program and really serving your patients at the highest level, what's been the fundamental change for you?
Gosh, the fundamental, I would say the mindset's number one, right? So I feel more so confident than ever in my life. right? So the low confidence I was feeling is because I didn't receive the training. Yes, I had access to someone who's a functional medicine practitioner, but I wanted to learn more for myself and treat myself in that process, right? Like your program's awesome too, where we get to go through the testing, learn all about how to read a lab exam, know which ones to choose, the best ones out there, but you can't help someone unless you help yourself first. So the program really bridged the gap for me in being able to be confident and offering the value for the client. And they noticed right away the changes because I was already implementing functional medicine with what we were learning at the time. Right when I had a client, I didn't wait till I was done with the program to start implementing it. Oftentimes we have the thought to where, no, it needs to be perfect before we launch it. That's like paralyzes us and not allowing us to show up as our best self. So implementing what I was learning at the same time was awesome because I got to integrate it in real life. And so my clients were my best feedback. Like, wow, like, look at you, like, I didn't know this about XYZ. Wow, I didn't know that food can do this for my body. Wow, I didn't know, so it was awesome integrating what I was learning at the same time with the client cases. I didn't wait. I've had clients for several years and they were loving the new integration and being able to receive continuum of care in between their sessions. So it was so awesome. I loved it. I loved every second of it. And the support that I was receiving during that time, it was just like, that was the first thing. And for it to be a year later, I mean, so much has happened within a year since finishing the program. So really bridged the gap.
I love that, Sophia. Thanks for sharing that. So what has been the biggest lifestyle change for you of transforming from one-on-ones to online?
Whew. Where do I begin? I mean, it feels good. So my goal I had set for myself when I was a sole practitioner was set myself up for time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. So what platforms or what steps can I take? What action can I take that would allow that to happen? And that is going into functional medicine and really launching an online program so that I can treat anyone, anywhere. Right? So it's pretty much setting up a step-by-step process because, it's like how you're talking to a client. You and I, you're in Florida, I'm in California, and look at the connection that we have, and we're able to support each other no matter the distance. So oftentimes people are scared, like, well, how can you help somebody through a video call? Well, look, we're connecting right now. I'm watching this right now. You're connecting with us, and you're already feeling like, wow, some type of shift or anything like that. So when I started integrating initially a 3-month program, and setting up Facebook Lives and having the confidence to show up. So that's what the functional medicine program really helps you do, is get the confidence to show up in the raw. People just want to relate with you and relate to your story, right? So I love that you offered that component to your program and providing a step-by-step process of like, wow, yes, you can do this through a video call. You can do this online. You can connect. You share your story. People are going to connect and gravitate. So I remember I set the goal during the program in April. I want to grow 3 clients in a 3-month program. Did I have it set out perfectly? No. I just knew I wanted to help people for 3 months and go through the process of what I've learned in the functional medicine program and what I've already learned before through all of my life experience, right? One Facebook Live, and 3 out of 3 people enrolled. I got my 3 people before April ended, right? From one live. And it's people that I knew. I just showed up. I hadn't done a live in so long. I just showed up and people were like, wow, where have you been? Right? We've been waiting for you to show up. And that's all. So it's just like the confidence of one showing up and just, showing yourself up in the raw. Like, people don't want you to be perfect. They want you to share stories so they can connect with you. They don't care about your credentials. They care that you can help give them the transformation that they've been craving for a long time. That's what they care about. Right? So then with the online program, call them, get them, connect with them, hear them out, listen. It's about coaching them, holding space to hear their story, And then you know, guide them like, these are your options for you. Either stay where you're at or you enroll with me. Your choice. You know? So
crazy how it can change. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the results that you've been getting with your clients. What has been happening? Give us some examples.
Yeah, so wow. So the first question I ask is, so my approach is very integrative. I really tap into the mindset, because your thoughts and beliefs create your reality. So these people are not feeling their best selves. Why? So functional medicine is an approach that digs into the why, right? So it's another platform to really not only hone in on the physiological component to their why, right? Reverse engineer what's been going on through their present, all their birth all the way through present. So it's like an integrative approach. So it's honing in on the mindset and reprogramming their brain, while at the same time supporting the body with food, which is, I love that about functional medicine program, is learning more on how to use food as medicine. And really implementing what you've already learned before, movement, or whatever your style is. Each of us have our unique style and approach that help a person. Integrating what you already know and allowing the functional medicine program to bridge the gap and show up. So that's how people are transforming, and the transformation that they're receiving is feeling like themselves again, being supported within their process, having a go-to person that they can rely on and trust. Because if there's a huge emotional component when anyone is not feeling like their best self, you know, we need to learn to hold space for them to be seen, heard, and loved, because conventional medicine doesn't create that space whatsoever. So be the change that you want to see within the healthcare field, right? So the transformation they're feeling is, we identify what they want to feel every single day, and then you cater the program to set them up to feel that. And be confident you can help unleash their transformation that they already have within. We're just there helping peel off the layers and supporting the body as best we can.
100%. So Sophia, I mean, we've been chatting for a while now, and you know, one of the things that we've seen is a lot of people reaching out to you after seeing your first interview and just saying like, is this something I should do? And what are your questions? So let's go through a couple of those questions that people have been asking you and just give them an answer so that everybody can hear exactly, you know, what is your perspective. And here you are 1 year down the line with a completely different life and going from one goal to the next, which we're going to jump into shortly as well on what you're doing at the moment. But give them some kind of perspective. A lot of people want to know, like, do you miss doing those one-on-ones in person? Or do you find that you're just getting tremendous value for yourself out of helping people online?
That's a great question. So yeah, I get asked that often. And so I'm a hybrid. So when I'm in town in Los Angeles, I do treat clients on site. These are clients that have been with me for 5 years. So in town, I do treat them on site, and they refer clients. So 100% of my clientele are word of mouth referral. So I love doing the one-on-one, but what I love about the hybrid being online is that I have the flexibility to travel and be where I want to be at the same time, right? So I don't miss it. I love it. I love integrating every single aspect of it, right? So it's nice to be so clear with what you want and then create your lifestyle around what you want, how you want to live your life. So I love both. I really do.
100%. And then how would you answer somebody that says, I'm a very private person, I don't like to get onto social media and get my message out there and let people know what I'm doing? How was that for you, and how did you get over that?
Okay, so it's more of a mindset, limiting belief that you're believing maybe you're not good enough to show up, or it's a confidence issue, or you're just concerned of how you're going to look and sound. You might have a fear of looking incompetent. The big thing in mine was like, I have a fear of coming off as incompetent, which is a past limiting belief of mine, because English is my second language. So it's childhood, whenever I would show up and speak, I was always like, coming off as not smart. So you need to sit down and write down these limiting beliefs, these stories that you keep telling yourself, like, I don't know about showing up. I don't know about doing online. I'm an introvert, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's not about you. It's about the person that needs a transformation and is waiting for you to show up. So when you get yourself out of the way and you show up and share the message that someone is in desperate need to hear and is in desperate need of a transformation, they just don't know where to go, it's you that's going to lead them to that, right? So if you keep holding yourself back, not only are you holding yourself back, you're holding a whole community of people who are hurting and waiting for you to show up. All right, get yourself out of the way. It's not about you. It's about the person deserving a transformation. And it's a disservice if you keep holding yourself back, a disservice to someone who needs a transformation. And maybe the transformation needs to start with you first, right? So dig deep and figure out where these old stories are coming from, transform them, work on them, but show up at the same time. You'd be surprised what comes out of it. Speaking opportunities, right? Wow, I love what you shared. How about we lead a retreat together? Right? It's not just one client. You show up once and it opens up a door of endless possibilities of connections, networking, all of that good stuff. So that would be my recommendation is it's not about you. It's about the person that you want to reach that needs a transformation from you and you being the leader and guiding them step by step to reach that transformation that they deserve.
Love it. And that's all mindset. And that's what we practitioner. It's 80% of it is mindset. The other 20% is learning systems and learning the clinical stuff that we've got to learn in functional medicine. But once you get this little matter between these two ears right, that mindset is a game changer. Crazy. So I know you've been asked many times is like, how much time did you allocate to achieving your goals during the program while you had your practice running?
I just blocked non-negotiables, right? So how you present yourself are the clients you're going to attract, right? I want clients who are committed, who are decisive, who are motivated to do what they need to do. So I need to become that. I need to become the person that I want to attract, okay? So I set non-negotiables in my calendar. Okay, I'm going to watch this video this day, like 3 times a week. And in between, I was treating clients, and then I was just learning. And then like, okay, Facebook Live made me do 1 or 2 times a week, right? So I am the CEO of my business. I have to fire myself more than once, right? Like, 'cause I was like, nope, I don't feel like doing it. I'm not going to do it. And just be like, okay, show up the next week. It's okay, right? So it's just really setting these non-negotiables because you need to figure out why you want to enter this program in the first place, and then set all your actions that are in sync with this why and the mission that you want to achieve. Because if you're just enrolling, you're not crystal clear with what you want to gain out of it, you're going to feel overwhelmed, and then you're going to feel like, oh, I can't do this. But it's all up to you. So setting non-negotiables on your calendar. So my hours were not all the same every single week. It would be maybe one week was more than the following week, right? It was just depending on my schedule. So I was just going with the ebb and flow of what was there, but I set non-negotiables because this was a priority. I was driven to learn as much as I could at the time and then integrate with clients. So it wasn't like, oh man, I have clients today. No, cool. I get tasks where I just learn from the videos and integrate with my clients. So it didn't seem like it was all overwhelming. It was all helping and supportive of each other. One wasn't taking away from the other. They all blended together and supported each other. So it didn't feel like I was being spread out in so many places. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, what you did was you knew what your goals were and you allocated the time necessary, but it didn't have to take up all your time. And I think it's so fundamental for people to understand is when you're in a coaching and mentorship program, it's about being smart and leveraging yourself. Yes, sure, you need to put in some work, but you also have the ability to leverage. And that's where you can use small pockets of time to be highly effective. And that's the big difference in people that have the ability to build teams and scale their businesses is that ability to, again, leverage off people that have the wisdom that you don't have yet. So I love that perspective, Sophia. Thank you. Did you find that you had any other extra costs during the program? A lot of people want to know, like, are there any hidden costs? Anything else you had to come up with?
Yes. The cost question, I laugh every time I get asked, is it worth the investment? Well, did we think about that when we went into PT school, chiro school, nursing school, whatever, grad school? Like, it just cracks me up. Like, I didn't think about the cost. You just went for it because you knew you wanted it. It's similar to functional medicine. You want to make it work, right? And it's interesting. If you want clients to invest in their health, invest in the education that you need to up level where you want to be, right? The mindset of the money and cost, first off, it's not a cost, it's an investment. And then anytime I invest, I say, okay, any investment's good and it would return 7 times greater. Same every time, right? So the extra investment during the program were the lab tests, right? And I was like, okay, I want the lab tests were an additional investment, which is, well, if you want a client to purchase a lab, you got to do it first, right? So like, if you want your client to be high level, high paying client, you need to invest as well, and know that that money is not disappearing. You're going to attract that back with your return on investment with the clients that you're going to be attracting. So for me, money mindset, and I did have a money mindset block, like, oh my gosh, I don't know, like, if I need to, like, I don't have this right now. I'm a risk taker and I go for it. If it's a hell yes for me, I go for it, and everything lines up to support me with that mission. So any additional investment were the lab exams. I can't recall anything else really. I mean, Facebook Lives, those are free. Facebook's free. Instagram's free. You don't need a website right now. People are scared like they need a website. You don't. Master the platform of social media. Then later on, start now, then you can start fine-tuning building a website. There's nice tricks. Like, there are ways to do it. It's cost effective for you as an entrepreneur, as a business person, right? But I just don't see it as a cost, it's more investment. I'm like, well, I'm going to track this, 5 more clients, I can do this, whatever it is. I don't know what else I had to invest in. I just remember the lab exams, that was it. But that was more so for you to learn, right? But PT school, right? So much additional costs. It's not just the program. You have to get the books. You have to get like lab, whatever, all that stuff. There's not a different thing. With grad school, we had no hesitation with the additional investment. It was just is. Why is functional medicine different?
Yeah, it's a return of investment. It's never a cost. Right. I think that's the bottom line. And it's a mindset game again. Because if you want to change where you're at the moment, it's not just going to happen. You need to figure out, is it worthwhile? Is that something that you want to live? And then is it worthwhile investment? And then you need to be committed, resourceful, and decisive. And it all boils down to each individual person having that right mindset. You can't do it for them. Love that. Love that. So tell us a little bit about where you're at the moment. I hear you're launching a book. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes. So I just completed writing my first book in January, and it is available for pre-order off of Amazon. It's called The End of Back Pain, The Secret to Gaining Relief and Staying Active. And so what it is, it's my story, sharing client success stories, and my methodology of how I work with the person. So pretty much I wrote the book as if I'm talking to a client. That's how I wrote the book within a couple of weeks. And then during the same time, I created an 8-week group program. So yes, I've treated one-on-one with the program, with the online. And so now my mission is to reach out to more people. So I also, in the month of December, created an automated online 8-week program with videos, content, resources, PDFs for people, created a private Facebook group, and that's going to be started this spring as well. And they coincide with the book. So if anyone buys the book and wants to work with me, they have this group one, and then with that, they have a continuum of care working with me one-on-one for 6 months, you know, which will include workshops, retreats, whatever it is. But yeah, I just finished the book, and it's barely February 19, 2020.
That's amazing. So
starting off the year very strong.
Yeah, absolutely love it. So just to be clear, what you've really done is taken your skills as a PT and everything else that you learned along the way, your functional medicine skills, you put an 8-week program together, but you put it into a book, and now you've got the spin-off of everything else that is happening. And that is just from you being decisive and committed to your goals and moving forward one step at a time. And a year later, you're living a completely different life.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. So Sophia, anybody else that is still on the fence of, is functional medicine right for me? Should I get started? What would you have to say to them?
Well, I often my response is figure out what your why is. What's your why? Number one, you know? And then when you define what your why is, figure out what action steps do you need to take to solidify that why and unleash that purpose, that why. And then look into functional medicine. It's like, wow, that's in sync with that. Then yes, go for it, right? So if you're concerned about finances, you're going to attract clients that are concerned about finances, and they're not going to invest in themselves or with you. So when you value investing in yourself, you're going to attract people who value investing in themselves too. So lead by example, right? So, I mean, you can't go wrong with up-leveling where you're at right now with functional medicine with this program. You can't. What do you have to lose, to be honest with you? You have two options. You either stay where you're at and be comfortable and wonder what if, or you just make a decision and everything else will work out, trust fall and go for it and learn so many things that would help bridge the gap and take you to the next level and open up limitless possibilities for you. Two options, you get to choose. There's no middle ground here. It's stay where you're at or don't. That's what I would share with you.
You're pregnant or you're not pregnant. It's
oh my God. So good. Oh my God. I'm going to write that one down.
So Sophia, tell us a little bit more about your project in Puerto Rico and just your vision for what's happening there. I know you've been working on that for a while now. Give us a little update, what's happening.
Yes, the update. So right now, the project is restoring my aunt and uncle's 30-acre property in Puerto Rico. It was damaged from both hurricanes Irma and Maria, and it's been in the family for 19 years. So they're retired right now, so it was very challenging for them to fix it. They don't have the finances. So I took a risk of like, you know what, I want to help out in a larger way. So I'm like, I want to raise the funds to help fix the house and use it as a space for retreats and healing, right? Connect with the land again and use herbal medicine, integrate functional medicine into that space. So I did a fundraising event here in LA in September. We raised about a couple grand, which was very successful. And then, which was really interesting, is that I hadn't scaled my career yet or be where I wanted to be. So right now the project's on hold and my focus is on expansions, hence the book, the program, reaching out to more people, being recognized, lead, teach, and then have that lead towards getting the project together and raising the funds to get the project going. So it's on hold right now while I am completing the steps of expansion with career and involving and connecting with more people to where when it's ready, it's going to be effortless and ready to go. But Love it. We'll see.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome functional medicine retreat and just amazing to restore that after the hurricane for sure. And again, that's it's lovely to hear your goals and you're moving forward, but you're doing the work to help you achieve your bigger goals. Yes. And I think that's a powerful mindset to bring to everybody to understand that, you know, goals can be reset and we've got to work towards them. They don't just happen.
Yeah.
But
No,
first,
it's
they
not
have to
set
be a
in
vision
stone.
in our mind.
Yeah, and I've learned it's very dynamic. And you know what? It's trial and error. You're gonna learn, oh, that didn't work. Change it. You're still awesome at life, you know? Like people get so hard on themselves, like, oh man, I'm such a failure, like this happened. No, you win and you learn. That's it. There's no losing here. So of course, like once I realized, oh shoot, I skipped some steps here to want to like restore this, my family's home. So all I did was put this on pause and I'm creating the steps that are going to lead me to this. And that's what I'm doing right now, on a larger scale.
Fantastic. Love it, Sophia. So is there anything else that I've missed out that you want to maybe just let the viewers know, that some of the common questions that tend to come up?
No, I think we've covered the main questions I've been receiving a lot lately. And if I didn't respond to your questions in a timely manner, I've been on a mission. So I'm prioritizing my time, and my time is my career and my clients right now. So I do appreciate you guys contacting me like and your patience when I respond. But I just say, yeah, two options: evaluate where you're at and figure out where you want to go, and then sync up your actions if they're going to lead you there or not. Functional medicine, that helped me with my mission and my why. So I mean, of course I'm going to recommend it because it's taken me to where I'm at right now, but I mean, it's your choice. You have the power to choose, but make sure your decision is not from a place of fear and lack and scarcity, like, oh, I don't have enough money for it. No, there's no power in that, okay? Make your decision out of purpose and power of just like, you know what, this is a really strong no because XYZ, I can wait, or whatever, because you have something else you need to do, or say, you know what, yes, this is in sync and everything else is gonna work out for me. That's what I would, last bit of golden nugget I would leave with you guys.
Love it, Sophia, love it. And yeah, I mean, again, we just want to thank you for the time you spent just to help those people that are listening in, and the questions that they commonly have. And just wonderful to hear you moving forward and expanding the horizons and ultimately helping more people with functional medicine, yes, and all your previous PT skills and beyond. So yeah, thanks again. Wonderful that we can catch up, and hopefully we can catch up in a year again and just see where you're at, and people can follow the time where you've been. So thanks again.
Definitely.
Really appreciate it. And we'll catch up soon. See ya.
All right, sounds great. Bye. Thank everyone. Thank you.